Welcome to Emotions and Eating with Nicola Beer. Nicola controlled her feelings using food for 25 years, so she knows how draining it is to be constantly thinking about or acting out with food. Thankfully, having made an amazing breakthrough in her recovery, her mission became about helping others escape the unsatisfying cycle of frustration and self-medication with food. Nicola is determined to help you find your inner strength so you can be healthy, gain confidence, feel great, and be at peace with yourself and food.
Hi and welcome, this is Nicola Beer and I'm super excited that you are here with me today, super excited that you're listening to this episode and the next few episodes, because what I've got for you here is very special. I'm going to be taking you step by step through the steps on how to stop emotional eating at night and late binge eating. So we're going to be covering those two topics and I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you can break habits, how you can become free and love your evenings and social time. Now, to get the most out of this, it's probably best if you listen where you have a notepad and pen, if you can pause the audios, or if you're driving listening to this, or exercising or doing whatever else you're doing, then make a note to yourself perhaps to come back to the exercises, because if you do the exercises, if you do the steps, then you can get results. This is what I take people through one-to-one. It's a part of my program, but I'm sharing with you some of the key steps that we do, engaging the conscious mind on how to change eating behaviours and also how to change our lives for the better, where we feel happier, less stressed and more in control, more free. And who doesn't want to be free in life? I know as a prisoner of my own eating habits, all I wanted to do was have the freedom to stop overeating, was have the freedom to stop binging and purging, to have the freedom to stop fearing about fat. So I'm going to be making the next episodes in this podcast interactive with exercises so that you really get the results that you deserve. I'm so pleased you can make it and you're showing up for yourself and you're giving yourself this gift for listening to this, because through listening, people are getting changes. In fact, I do apologise that I haven't been making as many podcasts as usual. I was inundated at the beginning of the year with so many sign-ups for people that wanted to work with me one-to-one to changing their eating habits for life. And now that a few months has passed, we're a few months into the year, a lot of people that I've been working with are completely free. And now I have a bit more time to create some podcasts again. So I'm going to be hopefully creating more for you and giving you this support to help you. I also wanted to share that I'm also busy working on something which is really, really exciting. And it's a new program that is really already helping so many people shift that weight loss, shift that weight, and also shift that mindset. And if you're a person that doesn't need to lose any weight, but you want to actually start eating and loving yourself, then this program is for you. It's not a diet. It's not a fad or craze. It's something that helps people to connect to themselves, to feel great energy, to move their body and to release the emotions. So I can't wait to share more about that, but it's not going to be today. So it's going to be in a few months. And do stay tuned. Do subscribe to the show if you want to find out more about that. So, are you a late night eater? Do you find it hard to lose weight because you can't stop eating at night? I used to be a late night emotional eater. In fact, this lasted well over a decade. And I want to say that change is possible. And I'm going to be covering how I broke the self-sabotaging cycle of late night eating, binge eating at night, and how I've helped now hundreds of others to do the same. And I'm going to cover this over several episodes because changing habits is not as easy as saying, right, tomorrow I'm not going to do this, as I'm sure you are aware. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be listening to this show. And goodness knows, I tried for so many years to stop on my own, and I couldn't. It was painful. The guilt, the shame, the regret, the wondering what on earth is wrong with me, and then doing the same thing again and again and again. I may have changed the food I ate, but I couldn't stop eating and eating at night. The pattern continued. In fact, the only time I think I didn't overeat late at night was when I was away on retreats and the last meal was at 6 or 7 p.m. and the kitchen was shut. And then I used to panic and worry about not having enough from the evening meal at 6 or 7 p.m. and that would it last me until the next day, or would I be hungry in the evening or crave something. Imagine eating a full meal and rather than enjoying it, worrying, would I be wanting more food later? Worrying when eating whether it will be enough. Anyway, that is another story for another time. This episode is about how to stop eating at night after your dinner. Sometimes you may not eat dinner, you may just snack all night, and breaking the cycle of constant eating in the evening. So the first key to break the cycle of compulsive eating at night is to understand your eating patterns and reasons. There could be many reasons that you're eating late at night, as everyone is different, and yet I'm sure there are some similarities. So let me go through these. The first thing to look at is it a physical craving and nutrient need? The first reason to rule out if you're a night eater is whether your overeating at night is due to a lack of nutritional needs during the day. Do you skip meals throughout the day, which leads you to feel hungry and think about food constantly as a result? Or perhaps you're eating in the day, but your style is to grab random quick snacks here and there that don't offer your body what it needs to function on an optimum level, and it's starving for nutrients. Or do you deliberately restrict yourself in an attempt to lose weight by skipping meals until the evening because you know you're going to compensate at night? Or are you depriving yourself because you overate the night before and feel guilty, so decide not to eat until later as you are stuck in a binge-starve cycle? If any of these are true for you, whilst the reasons may be comfort and emotional eating, which I'll cover soon, it may also be a physical craving as your needs have not been met. It's important to understand what your body does need and want. You may go and speak to a nutritionist for this. You may look up things online or get one of those macro and micronutrient apps. Or if you want to keep it really simple, which is what I do with the women and men that I work with, and teenagers as well. Keep it simple. Are you having enough healthy fats, carbs, and protein? Healthy carbs, healthy fats, healthy proteins. Are you having enough of those throughout the day? And when you eat a meal with all three, for sure, you do feel a lot fuller. And I know that actually it did make a difference. However, sometimes it's not enough difference to break the cycle of late night eating, which I'm going to explain why soon. Because for many of us, what we eat in the day can make no difference to our evening patterns. Even if we eat a cheese or salmon or avocado salad at lunch, we can't stop eating at night. And this is where the psychological and emotional factors kicked in. So let's explore these. Rewarding yourself. The biggest reason that triggers a lot of emotional eating at night is a sense of entitlement and reward. Eating to congratulate yourself for working hard, getting through the day, putting up with the stress you had to bear, or to give yourself a well done. A well done for getting through that day, a well done for doing some work, a well done for whatever it is that you want to reward yourself for. In reality, of course, it's no treat to overeat in this way. It's no overtreat for the mind because of the guilt and the shame, and it's certainly no treat for the body. The damage and stress that overeating does to the body has been well documented, and I am going to be having a podcast on this coming up. So again, do subscribe to the show and follow me if you are interested in learning all about this. The next reason that we can also often fall into the habit of overeating at night is that defeatist attitude and guilt, where you think, what the heck, I had a large lunch or big dinner or the wrong snacks today or this week, so you carry on. You feel guilty and perhaps unknowingly are eating away the guilt due to feeling guilty about what you've already eaten. So you shrug it off and figuring, I've already eaten this much, what's a little more? And you continue eating all night. And then late night eating can also be that it's just become a ritual. And when I say just, that doesn't mean that it's simple to change just by thinking about changing. With action though, rituals can be changed, as I'm going to be sharing in the next episode. So, if you have an evening or post-dinner ritual that is all about overeating and zoning out, you may feel it's difficult to change and break free from eating at night. The food keeps you company. It becomes your friend and comfort in this digital world. You change into loose, comfortable clothes when you get in the door. You sit on your sofa with your e-reader, book or laptop or mobile phone close by and switch on the TV whilst deciding what to eat or order, as if you haven't already spent all day thinking about it so far already as well, what you're going to eat. And you either spend the evening watching hours of mind-numbing entertainment, letting the stress of the day fade away, or you're back into your work, answering emails, researching things, and doing admin. Every so often you break up the screen time and you're off to the kitchen for snacks. You'll probably start savoury and salty and reasonably healthy, and then you'll want more and ask yourself, what can I eat next? What can I eat next? What can I eat next? Like a repetitive thought that won't leave you. You feel a temporary satisfaction. It feels good to fill that hole and eat, and then you feel empty again. Sound familiar? Feeling empty again, you then make a decision. Shall I continue on the savoury or move to sweet? As perhaps you're bored with one flavour and you want to get that good feeling back. So you simply switch to the next. Then after this you don't pay much attention to what you're eating or how you're feeling. You're just zoning out and enjoying the taste and distracting yourself from feeling anything. Is this like your routine? You may not have a sugar or food addiction. You may not lack willpower to avoid certain foods. But you could be either eating in this way out of habit, as a way to zone out from stress, for the reward element I mentioned, or to keep yourself occupied as a way to avoid feeling any other emotions. And this is where food has become a way to numb yourself, a way to not feel, a way to distract, a comfort. The good news is that it's all changeable. Now, psychologists call what I've just described here night eating syndrome. And although I don't like labels, as people are not their behaviour, because I believe that people create things to help them cope with life, help them deal with life as best they can. And then habits form, and habits can be hard to break if you're going at it alone. Goodness knows I tried that as well, trying to change on my own. For many years I struggled. I tried lots of different therapies. I tried lots of different techniques on my own, reading self-help books, listening to things without that one-to-one support, and not a lot changed. I was constantly stuck in the same cycle. And sometimes I made small improvements to the habit, but I didn't become free. And I wish that I had learned how to change this earlier, because I wouldn't have had to suffer for as long as I did. Now you may be thinking, Nicola, what is night eating syndrome? Well, according to psychologists, it's a repetitive behaviour of compulsive eating, late night overeating or binge eating, while at night. Night eating syndrome is not the exact same thing as binge eating disorder, although they're very similar according to psychologists. It can include eating continuously, not having at least 2 hours in between snacks, eating excessively after you've already had dinner, eating before bed, eating at midnight, or waking up in the night and eating, or feeling guilty or shame about your eating habits in the evening. And if you're taking this in and thinking, yes, that is me, don't be alarmed, as actually it affects millions of people. According to the US National Institute of Mental Health, approximately 1.5% of the population in the US, almost 5 million people, find it hard to stop eating at night. I'm going to share more about this topic and tips on how to stop late night eating coming up. So I hope this has helped you and has motivated you to say, yeah, this is true, I'm not alone, and it can be changed, because it really, really can. I've helped so many people in the last few months to completely changed the way they view food